Good morning everyone, Spazzy Dragon here, aka Syndrome, still without his morning coffee, but it's time to continue to play our little dwarf fortress. So I taken some of the feedback into account, and yes, I'm going to keep these videos for about 30 minutes in length, so it's easier for you to watch. I'm still not going to record background audio, so you might as well put your own personal preferences when it comes to playlists in the background. And I am going to try and show you how things are done, so maybe it's a little bit more, kind of like a tutorial, but not really. So first things first, up here we can see that the game is currently paused. It means that there's no progress going on, and to answer one of the first questions is that yes, in fact, the game is viewed from from above to down, and it is in 3 dimensions when you switch between the layers of the game world. But yes, the icons of the dwarves are in fact in 2D, and yes, they are sort of sideways, so it's actually easier for you to understand what's going on. So yeah, the overall gameplay is a top-down, but the icons of the characters themselves for the tiles that I'm using are in fact, sideways. So, it was a little bit confusing apparently, but there you go. Right, so what do we have today? We are joined back with our 7 starting dwarves. We have Loki, Panzer, Abdav as our miners. We have Rick Ross as our carpenter. Swallow as our mason. Snake as the expedition leader and our planter. And the other planter is the Saran, who's also our broker. Speaking of which, I think it's finally time for us to build a trade depot. This is going to be where the trade caravans are going to stop and, unload their goods while they are paying us a visit. Now, the only thing is that the caravans come in 2 types. One is a sort of a mule, backpack sort of thing. When they move their goods in a mule, so they can go through one tile like this through our fortress. But if we want to get a more varied amount of stuff being brought to our fortress for trade, we want to place this thing outside so they can bring their what's the called, carts, just like the one that we embarked on, like over here. So we're going to place this outside over here. It is going to be at the very entrance of our fortress. It's going to be well fortified, and at the same time, as you can see, it is actually going to be... So this is the edge of the level above, so at the same time it's going to be underneath the roof, so when my dwarves are moving stuff around, they're not going to get an unhappy thought about getting, under the rain or something. So we're just going to build this out of logs. That's going to be our first thing. Secondly, Snake was kind of happy that there's no chairs around, so we're going to be building those as well. We're going to make them a little lounge sort of area so they can, chill for a little bit. And we're actually going to do this on the 2nd level here because this is all stone, which is really good because I will want to make that place a little bit more appealing for the dwarves themselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to designate a mining operation over here. We're going to have a really big corridor, and then we are going to have 2 rooms like this. This should be... Now, these rooms are actually more than... they're kind of too large right now, but considering we're going to have more dwarves arriving, that's going to be okay. So the room below that is going to be where our meeting area is, where the dining area is, and above that is going to be where the other things are. So one thing that I really need to do though is make sure that these guys can actually move around like this, so they don't have to run around too much. I think a simple staircase over here would be more than adequate for that. So we're going to build a downward staircase over here, and we're going to build a upward staircase over here. So it's going to connect these rooms. We're going to make sure that they build this one first, because I actually want them to be able to kind of chill when they're not doing anything. We have one idler right now, two or one, depending on what is going on. But yeah, there you go. So right now we're just going to wait for those jobs to be done. And we have 50 units of drink, which is adequate for these, for this amount of dwarves. Though we don't really have much in the way of fish and plant and meat, so we're kind of getting low-ish on food. Oh, speaking of starvation, apparently these two are grazing animals, so I'll need to put them outside. Or not, actually. Let's look at our jobs. Who is doing what? I think that both Sauron and Snake can double as a butcher, because that's going to be a really important thing. And once that's done, we're just going to select these animals over here. That's a water buffalo, bull, and a horse, and we're going to set them as butcherable animals. So as soon as these guys have the time, they are actually going to go and just carve these guys up. Oh, hello. That's Swallow not doing a lot of things, so... Well, that's not really a good thing. What are you doing? You're storing an item in a stockpile. That's really nice, but how about you start making us some doors? Yes. Doors are always nice. And after that, we're going to start off with the chairs. 5 chairs should be enough for now. We're going to make our guys a quick dining room so they have, time to do that. And afterwards, we can start expanding our fortress a little bit more. So, obviously, this area is not going to last very long. It's not really that big, as you can see. But it's going to fill up really fast, so we're going to need to expand it over here. This is a generic stockpile, just like, everything gets dumped in there. Also, in the last episode, we struck some banded agates, which is a type of gem, which is really good, but the only problem is that currently none of our guys have, proficient skills when it comes to gem cutting. And while we could sell these things as raw material, that would be kind of a waste, and we can just hope that one of the immigration waves are going to actually bring us some guys who are kind of better at this. Because let me just go back here into the labor management tab. Nothing really stopped me from going over here and saying that, Loki's going to be a gem cutter now. I can enable that like this. But the problem is he's not proficient at it, so that's going to be a waste of money, because everything that he's going to produce for a while until he gets a hang of it is going to be subpar in quality. As you can see, we're kind of piling up with remains of critters that our cats are eating, so we are actually going to set ourselves a refuse stockpile over here. That's the reason why this place exists. And also a corpse stockpile for butchered animals. Okay, so the first thing we need to do there actually is build a door so the stink doesn't move around. It's in the game it's called miasma, but you get the idea. And there we go, the remains are out of the way, and hopefully that's not going to be a big deal. So what else is going on? The kitchen needs to be constructed, although it needs someone with a cooking labor. We don't have one of those right now. Everyone is eating everything raw, which people don't mind. Butcher's shop, looks like both of our planters are busy right now. The still is also waiting, and yeah, both of the stills are currently waiting. That's because the only guys who actually do the brewing... actually, only Snake knows how to brew, but he's kind of busy right now with planting seeds, which is fair enough. as we already noticed, we don't really have, much in the store of supplies. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, okay. I should have paid more attention. Apparently, it's all soil over here as well. Okay, so that means that this place, which is going to be our dining room, is not going to be too epic because I won't be able to decorate the stone, but okay, let's quickly build a door over here and then we can start placing our chairs which are not yet constructed. Okay, fair enough. Okay, considering our miners are done with that, we are just going to carve out another room over here. This is going to make things a little bit more easy for our carpenter, Rick Ross, because right now all of the lumber that he chopped, is outside over here, and it's in the rain, it's in the sun, both of which dwarves don't really like that much. So after that room's hollowed out, we're gonna set it as a stockpile for lumber. So even if we need to kind of wall ourselves into the fortress, it's gonna be fine because we still will have some amount of lumber. Okay, so here's the thing. Currently is March, as far as I can understand. It's almost April actually. So the trade caravan from our guys is going to be approaching kind of soon-ish, and we need to already prepare some sort of stuff for them to, trade. So what I'm thinking is that Rick Ross is actually going to make some wooden tools, for example, wheelbarrows or carts. Something that is easy to make, doesn't require a lot of stuff. Okay, let's see. First of all, I want to set this as a wood stockpile, like this. And now we can just wait for all of our free guys to just go and grab things. Okay, where is my coffee? You guys can watch these dwarfs run around a little bit. Okay, so a little reminder. I am going to try, if possible, not to set people to jobs that they're not proficient with, unless there's no absolute choice. For example, if we hit our cap of 17 people, then yes, if it is really required, then I'm going to reassign someone, as something else. If someone comes along who has some sort of job that I do not have, anything to give to, then I'm going to try either to build that job for them. For example, if Dwarf who does clothes comes along, a clothier comes along. I don't have a clothes industry right now because I don't have anything to make these clothes out of. I would have to trade for the materials. And if that's the case, I'm going to either give him to Panzer as a recruit for the military, or I'm going to try and make that particular industry happen. No promises, though. Actually, it looks like we are slowly running out of barrels, of all things. So the carpenter is going to do that right now for us. Why did you... There we go. Item blocking site. Something was blocking the site, so they sort of stopped the construction of stills. So that's a bad thing. We have only 40 units of drink left, so that's bad. Oh, there. That was one of our. Yeah, there we go. Meat. There we go. The animals are getting butchered, the ones that we assigned. See, that's the horse being led to be butchered, and there we go. That's going to actually give us a lot of meat. So that said, we don't need to worry about food anymore. Those were 2 large animals being butchered, so right now we have 80 units of meat. That's going to be plenty. That's going to be a lot. So right now we're just going to quickly wait up for this to fill up. It was really a bad choice of me to do that now with only 7 dwarves at our disposal, but hopefully the first migrant wave is going to arrive soon-ish. So maybe that won't be a problem. Okay, something else that I'm going to do is build a restraint. Oh, there we go. A restraint, I'm going to place it right over here, and it's going to be a rope. Basically, what I'm doing right now is tying a rope to something, and then we're going to tie a animal to that rope so it kind of guards the entrance. It's a really good thing to do because there are some thieves in the game, and like kobolds or gremlins or whatever, and those things are invisible until they're spotted by someone. And there is a lot of traffic going on through here, but that's for now. I kind of want them to be spotted at the entrance if possible, so we can deal with them a little bit later. Yep. And now everything is just going to go at its own pace. Nothing really to worry about, but I mean, Snake is still complaining about the lack of chairs. Oh, which we actually did construct already. That's a good thing. Actually, now we need the tables for it, but okay, you know what? We are going to construct 5 more of these chairs, and then we're going to start constructing the tables. One thing that I am going to build, though... Actually, we're going to place a door. And we're finally going to give our guys somewhere to sleep. So, we're just going to build a bed. We constructed 5 of those, I think. Not sure. Yeah, we constructed exactly 7, so what's going to happen now, this room is going to be our dormitory, whatever the hell it's called in English. So this is going to be the place for these guys to kind of rest. As soon as one bed is down, I can actually designate the whole room as like this and say that, yes, in fact, it is a dormitory. And now all of them are just going to go there and sleep if they want to, which is a good thing, because sleeping in the dirt over here is probably not something that they really wanted, considering we came here in like January, now it's like almost the end of April, and it's like, oh, only now we got beds? Cool. Yeah, see, that's Abdalf over there, he's just sleeping on a pile of logs. Okay. We do have a dormitory now, dude. You don't have to sleep on logs. I forgot the lyrics to that song from Ren and Stimpy about logs, logs, logs. That was my attempt at a reference. Don't judge me. Okay. Quickly need to assign that. We're just going to assign this dog, like one dog, to this little rope so he can guard the entrance like this. Oh, hauling that lumber is really taking a while. Holy shit. Like, it's taking a lot longer than I expected it to be. That's really bad because I'm currently slowing the progression of the fortress down. As you can see up here, time is still ticking. It's almost May now. And we're expecting our caravan to finally arrive somewhere during like fall-ish. Here's a fun fact. I should be getting up only now. Like, only now I should be waking up. But no, I'm recording a video for you guys. You know, before work kicks in. Okay, you know what? That's enough lumber for now, so we are going to set building properties, and we're going to forbid all of the items that we have here. It means the dwarves are not going to haul these items that they're forbidden to interact with. And that means that our guys are finally going to focus on something else. For now, this is enough. This is enough for now. So what are we going to do right now is we need to make... Let's go with wheelbarrows. I find them to be really good for trade because, you know, any kind of digging tools and any sort of tools are actually really popular for the early caravans. But every time they come, you'll see for yourself. Every time a caravan comes, they're going to tell us what will they pay for more in the next visit, so we can sort of prepare. I just found that making wheelbarrows at the very start of the game is pretty good as far as things go. I mean, we are sitting on a pile of raw gems, but right now we can't really do anything. It's not like we just get gems out of the dirt and we're just like, oh, look, it's a gem. No, we need to refine it, and then we can, like, encrust something with it. That's how it works. Actually, yeah, that's... I know this game doesn't look really complicated, but the in-game mechanics and how everything works is actually pretty thought out. Like, if we look at any of our dwarves right now... Actually, that's something I'm going to post in that thread as well. I mean, maybe by the time that this video comes out, I've already posted the first part of that thread, and you will be able to go and see the, you know, what the game randomly generated for each of the dwarves. I mean, I'm going to show you right now, just in case you haven't seen it. Let's look at Loki. Never forget true loyalty, that's his quote. Okay, within the last season, he felt fondness talking with a friend. He felt fondness after making a friend. So, basically, these are positive emotions. We need to keep our guys happy. He felt dislike when forced to talk to somebody annoying. Okay, so it looks like he... okay, so it looks like he already has made enemy, or, you know, someone he doesn't really like. He felt satisfied at work. He was embarrassed after sleeping without a proper room. We are going to get rid of that soon. He was annoyed when caught in the rain. He was annoyed at the lack of chairs. Yes, I know we don't really have a lot of chairs. I get it. He was annoyed after sleeping on a rough cave floor. Well, then go to the freaking dromedary. I want to say dromedary. Yeah, no. Okay, I really want Swallow to start, you know, cranking out those tables. Actually, how far do you have? You made one, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So that's going to be 10 chairs and 10 tables. That is going to be more than enough for our little group of dwarves, because they're not going to be using them all at the same time, obviously. Right, so looks like our miners are sitting there without much work, so let's give them something to do. So this is going to be the next room over here. It's going to be slightly smaller, and it is going to be in an odder shape, because this is where the stuff is going to go. Just quickly make them... Okay, so the idea is, this is where our metal work is going to be. We need lumber for powering the furnaces to melt stuff, but at the same time we need lumber to build stuff out of wood. So this is our carpenter's workshop. Oh no! Guys, I just remembered we actually embarked without an anvil. Which is really problematic. It means that is going to be one of the things we will need to get from our caravan. Guys, I do believe we need more wheelbarrows! We will need a lot more wheelbarrows. So yeah, production is going fine so far. The only problem here is is that Swallow is actually hauling the stones from like really far away, so that's really slowing him down. We're probably gonna need to plump down a stockpile just for those things as well. But there you go. Okay, time for a custom stockpile. It's going to be like a 50-50 like this. So basically those are going to be two stockpiles. The first one is going to house stone, but only metal ore. No clay. There we go. And the other one is going to have bars and blocks. And at the same time, this one is not going to have them. There we go. So if I did everything fine, they're going to move the coke over there, closer to the... This is going to be where the actual, workshop is going to be. So, yeah, Dwarf Fortress is kind of management-ish in that regard. We kind of need to build everything very closely. Like, everything needs to be neat, everything needs to be tidy, and everything needs to be efficient as fuck. Oh, some migrants have arrived. That's a good thing. Guys, we just got our first influx of dwarves. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So there are the ones that are blinking with a cross, just to show who's the new additions. They're still going to be chilling over here, because we still haven't made that, that gathering place for us. And, okay. So the idea here is simple. I have my list of people who wrote down their names in the thread. And I'm just going to see who arrived first, assign the first person, then the second, then the third, and then the fourth. So I'm just going to pause the video here. I'm going to set them up, and 28 minutes in, we might actually start wrapping it up. Okay, I'm going to quickly set things up, and let's see who arrived. Alright? Alright guys, I want you to give a warm welcome to our 4 newest arrivals. That would be John Wilkins, who is a potter, Zislayern, who's a gem cutter. That's freaking awesome, by the way. And we have Ace Rosgriz, who's a furnace operator. And we have Jeff K, who's a woodcrafter. So, welcome to the fray, guys. I hope that I'm not going to accidentally kill you or anything, or at least not fast enough, anyway. I'm going to quickly write this down so I don't forget. So, Slayer is going to be the gem cutter. Wilkins is a potter. Sadly, one of the professions I never got to use properly. Ace is our furnace operator. And Jeff Cake is our woodcrafter. He is going to piss off the elves! Okay, guys. So before we tidy up this episode, we are finally gonna give our guys somewhere to chill properly. So this is where we are going to place our tables. So this is going to be our dining room, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Fuck, I fucked up. I fucked up again. So let's cancel these two. And then we are going to place the chairs like this. So this is going to be our dining room over here. And now we just need to wait for everyone to install these items. There we go. Also, we're going to need more beds. We definitely need to... Oh, hello. Who's this? That is John Wilkins having troubles lifting a table. So obviously every dwarf has their own set of stats, and it looks like John is not really having fun, no. If it's either agility or strength, then John sadly is one of the dwarves who are not going to be making it into the military, because that would be kind of just, you know, killing him off. Don't we have more? Oh, we don't actually have more tables. That's because someone is doing something else. Oh, that's because Swallow decided to make a break. Okay. So, okay, whatever. We can make this into a dining room now. But everyone gives a thanks to Swallow because he's taking a break, even though we have, like, 3 tables to do. There we go! And hopefully now Snake is not going to be too unhappy about not being enough chairs around. Although one thing, I want to remove this old zone. This is not a meeting area anymore. But it is going to be a place for our dogs to stay because I want it that way. There we go. Okay, we're slowly running out of drinks. I will fix that a little bit later. But I think this is where we are going to cut off our episode for now. So there's still a lot to do. We are still preparing for our first convoy of traders, so we can get some things for this that are essential for the fortress. But for now, so far so good. No one has died. No one has burrowed their way into the aquifer. And I'll see you in part 3, guys. Thanks for watching. And also, if you want to learn how to play this... Sorry about that. If you want to learn how to play this game, I really suggest you watch an actual tutorial, because that is pretty much the only way you can learn this. You just need to watch how a player plays and explains everything. You're not going to read this, and you're not going to figure it out on your own. So, again, I'll see you guys a little bit later.